gratitude is the opposite of stress. And stress is typically coming from some form of lack, right? Whether you know it or not, whether you think about it or not, it's like lack of money, lack of time, lack of health, lack of peace. Stress comes from some level of lack. And when you are genuinely and authentically grateful for anything, you are not coming from lack, you are coming from an abundant receiving energy, right? And so if you're feeling stressed on a consistent level, a great place to start is to start making time to be grateful for things. You know, I'm a certified professional coach, and sometimes I'll work with clients and we create a gratitude list. Sometimes when we are, you're in your car, you're in the shower, these mundane things that we do at any given moment where we let our mind either just wander or think about things that aren't serving us, those are great opportunities for us to create gratitude. And then, which gets a little bit deeper, is to be aware of the now. Recognize that now is all there actually is. And so when we start to get worried about something that happened last week, last month, last year, it might happen next year, what someone else somewhere else thinks, all these different things that understandably bring us stress or overwhelm or anxiety, we can instead choose to decide, who am I in this moment? Who do I, like right now, wherever I am, wherever you're listening to this podcast, like if you look around and recognize that there is oxygen, there is gravity, there is sunlight, there are things happening just so that you can exist, and you are existing really right now. So who do you want to be in the now? When you start to recognize that that is a choice, you start to take more control over who you are in the now. Think about it. We're all creators. And what I mean by that is in every given moment, we are creating something. We're always creating. When you wake up in the morning, if you decide to put on blue socks, blue pants, blue shirt, and a blue hat, you are creating a person dressed in blue. Right now, you and I are creating two humans recording an awesome podcast. If you put two pieces of bread down and you put peanut butter on one side, jelly on the other, you are creating a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I know this sounds obvious, but when you take it a little bit deeper and you say that we're always creating conversation, we create art, we create music, we create businesses, but we also sometimes will create anger, or we will create frustration, or we will create anxiety. And it's not to say that those things are not valid based on life circumstance, but it is important for people to recognize that we are creating them based on life circumstance. The cool part about this is when you recognize that you are creating a person who is anxious, you can begin to get curious and say, what would it be like to create a person who was joyful, or who was present, or who was patient? And that's kind of a theme of the book. That at any given moment, you have the opportunity to create something different. And a lot of time we can do that by curiosity and ask, what would it be like to be a person who is patient in this moment? And again, it's not to say that there aren't reasons to be angry, frustrated, stressed, or overwhelmed in any capacity, but it is important to recognize that those reasons are outside of us, and we are genuinely creating the feelings with our thoughts and our emotions of anger and stress and overwhelm. And so at least when we take responsibility and are aware that we are creating those thoughts, we have an understanding that we have the opportunity to create something else. With practice, we adapt. And we adapt. We don't even know that we're adapting all the time. But when you wake up any given day, you're creating a person who's getting out of bed. And you get to decide the type of person you want to be as that you are creating. Most of the time, unfortunately, we've built these habits of who we are based on who we were yesterday, and based on the people we surround ourselves with, and based on all of our 60 to 70,000 thoughts that we had yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, which are often very similar. And this turns out to be this thing that feels like it's on autopilot. It's just been created because life happened to us. But really, when we start to recognize that we can create somebody new in any given moment, it's going to take some practice. You're going to have to change some habits, ways of thinking, just maybe intentions about your day and who you want to be and how you want to converse and how you want to look at life as a whole. But it's always possible. It's just up to you to decide you want to do it and do it consistently.